We are going to kick it off with Paul's question. This one's a little serious to kick it off, but it's a really good question. I'm excited to see what you're going to say. He says, I just turned 30, and that was following a family auto accident with my wife and my 2-year-old son, which is so scary. Like, I'm so sorry you had to experience that, Paul. But he did say they're all back home. They're okay. They're managing a couple injuries. But with those events that occurred, I want to make sure we are living and enjoying our messy middle years without sacrificing long-term financial security. How do you recommend balancing the financial order of operations lifestyle and the fun and freedom and generosity factor? For context, we have a fully funded emergency fund and are contributing to our Roth 401k, and we make $190K.
I love. Oh, well, okay. Wow. Okay.
I know,
that's
good
great.
income. And he's doing a lot of the right things, which is fantastic.
That's awesome. So first of all, I'm so happy to hear the family's okay. Like, that's terrifying,
yes.
Having young children, thinking about having a car accident. My wife had a car accident with the kids in the car, and it's just terrifying. So it's wonderful to hear that they are doing okay. And I love that what happened is there was this like traumatic event, but it sounds like it was not an incredibly severe event in terms of outcome, but it was traumatic in terms of experience. And it caused you to reflect and say, man, you know what? Life is fragile. Life is precious. Like, the time that we have on this planet, man, we want to make sure that we don't waste it. Because, we have this saying here at the Money Guy Show that wasting time is way more expensive than wasting money. And we use that as a little pun based on the time value of money. But it's so true with like experiences and the way we spend our time and the things we do with our time. And so we said, well, how do I factor this in? How do I make solid financial decisions for the future, but also make sure that I'm focusing on the here and now and doing the stuff I'm supposed to do? And specifically, you asked about generosity. I'll speak to that one first. Generosity, in our opinion, is like step zero. So it's not like, okay, at what level of the financial order of operations do I become generous? In my experience, it started there, right? Generosity was something, even when you don't have a lot of money, it may not be financial generosity. It might be generosity with your time, or generosity in your community, or generosity with your family. There are ways that you can pour into the lives of other people in the community around you. So I think if you can find those things, you will be amazing at how fulfilling that can be. The old saying is it's much better to give than to receive. I believe that wholeheartedly. And it's not just when it comes to money. So how do I be generous? You got to find how to be generous. So then the next thing is, all right, well, how do we enjoy right now? Brian talks all the time about this, about the idea of it's okay to bedazzle your basic life. Well, here's what's great. You said you're married, you got a 2-year-old. With 2-year-olds, doing fun stuff doesn't have to be really, really expensive. Like, you don't have to go spend 5 figures to take a 2-year-old to Disney World.
Yeah, my 2-year-old was throwing
Disneyland.
Rocks into a creek the other day for a long time. Thought it was the best thing in the world.
Best thing in the world.
Made his day. Made his life, really.
And so you got to figure out, I remember when I was in that stage, when I had little kids, the thing that I had to do was I had to focus on chiseling out the time to make time to do the fun stuff. Hey guys, I'm not gonna go to work on Friday. We're gonna go do this. Or hey, this weekend, rather than doing the house project, rather than doing the thing that I got behind on, rather than catching up on this, we're gonna go do something fun. And what's amazing is a lot of times doing those things are not the expensive things. But remember, if you're 30 years old, you're in the messy middle, you're in this stage where you're being pulled in 1,000 different directions. One of the things that I had to do is say, even though there are no less than 1,000 people that want my time, want my attention, I'm going to say no to 999 of them so that my family gets me right now in this moment and I can be present with them. I'm going to put down the phone. I'm going to take off the watch. I'm going to be present. We're going to focus on doing this. And it allowed me to enjoy those times. So you have to be very intentional as you do this in this stage. Well, the beautiful thing is you can do that stuff while still following the financial order of operations. But Reba, do you have the thing? Can you know the thing? Can you do the Brian part?
I didn't know you were going to do this.
Can you do the thing?
Yes.
If you go, I'm not. See, she's still a rookie.
I'm not as good as Brian.
She didn't have the Brian shake now.
The sound effect.
If you go to moneyguy.com/resource, you can download this. We have the financial order of operations. It actually walks you through a 9-step tried and true process of what to do with your next dollar. Well, what's beautiful is you can do this in tandem with also living life. Because our goal for you, our vision for you is not to just live this miserable life for the next 40 years so that you can ball out when you're in your 60s and 70s. That's not the idea. The idea is that you can have the best of both worlds. And what's great for you, Paul, is that an income of $190,000 household, I don't know what part of the country you live in some parts that's more, in some parts that's less, But odds are you can still make really, really wise financial decisions, but also be able to focus on spending time with your family and focusing on the things that truly matter. We talk about like levels of abundance, and we always talk about that fifth level, the top level, is abundance. It's this level beyond financial freedom and financial independence. And while you can't necessarily achieve that until you've achieved financial independence, you can start like dialing into it. Like even in your 30s, even in your 20s, you can begin to uncover, who am I? What do I value? What brings me purpose? And while you may not have the financial wherewithal to be able to focus exclusively on those things yet, you can begin to understand those things, and it'll inform the decisions you make on your financial path. So it can be done. And here's what I think is beautiful. We have a whole community of folks that are living in this season right now. Maybe you're one of the folks that are living in this season right now. It's what I love about the YouTube chat. It's what I love about our Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Financial Mutant Facebook group, it's great because people chime in. They're like, hey, here's what's going on in my life. Anybody else dealing with this? And then it's like, yes. Yeah. You're not alone. There are other financial mutants out there that are fighting the good fight, and you're figuring out how to do it. And I think if you can figure out how to surround yourself with those people, you'll recognize, hey, we can do this. We can power through.
I mean, we talk, obviously the messy middle topics ring true for us, but we keep talking about it because we keep seeing people
asking
relate and
about
agree.
it. Yep.
Exactly. And want to dig deeper. So you're definitely not alone.